Hey guys, y'all get to see what I look like in the morning. Just woke up. It's Sunday. The show's a wrap for me. I just need to get ready, head to the airport, get back to my wife and kids. Excited about that. Like I'm sure many of the guys out here are. Top to bottom, just to give you a quick summary, I'm not going to do a big national recap this year. I just got too much stuff going on next week. Catching up with work, catching up with the MJ Hierarchy project. And I'm actually working on big raw collection acquisition, so I've got probably literally hundreds of hours of work to do. So I'm gonna kill the high quality national preview. That's just not my style anyway. So in a nutshell, better than Atlantic City, more people, better vibes, better, more transactions, more back and forth. Just the feeling, it just felt better. The location's better. The ease of access was better. The convention center was a little wonky, to be honest with you, for lack of a better word. I spent 4 days here and I still didn't quite totally figure out the layout of the floor plan. And I'll tell you this, I spent a lot of time over there. I did have to take some downtime because I'm working through a back issue and some food poisoning. So it was an interesting 4 days, but probably the most fun I've had in the hobby in a very, very long time. And just kind of wanted to tell you guys, if you see any just bitching, complaining, negative, whiny stuff, that was not the vibe here. And I spoke and communicated with a lot of people during this trip, a lot of people that know their stuff, that have been doing this for many, many more years than I have, for sure. And all of those guys shared the exact same sentiment that this was awesome. This was a really good weekend for the hobby. So that's it. That's kind of my recap. Came here looking for a monster, did not get it. It just didn't work out. You know, the card that I wanted was a little bit out of reach, you know, and wasn't willing to do what I needed to do to consolidate. I was really surprised. I tried to move a Kobe and a Duncan red PMG. Couldn't get it done. So I'm going to end up sending those to PWCC Premier Auction and just let them go, see what happens. And churn and burn, baby, and put that money into Jordan. All paths lead to Jordan. I probably got stopped, and I asked for this, right? So you guys know on my channel, as we were leading up to the National, I told people, let me get a drink of coffee, hang on. I hate coffee, but it makes things work. You guys know leading up to the National, I told you, if you see me and you don't stop me, I'm gonna be pissed off. Well, you guys listened, so I gotta believe maybe 150 people stopped me and had conversations with me in the 4 days. Like it literally got to the point where it was almost expected and hard to get to the next table, and it was awesome. It was absolutely fantastic. I loved it, and that's why I started the YouTube channel, is to meet new people, make new friends. And a lot of you guys probably don't know I wear reading glasses. This phone's like 4 inches from my face. But the communication, the networking, the events that I went to at night, I went to 2 private dinners, were both, I did not expect to be in a room with the people that I was in the room with. Let's just put it that way. So it was very humbling, very flattering, very educational, very informative. And the feedback regarding the YouTube stuff from some really what I would perceive as very important people in the hobby was very positive. So I'll try to just keep doing what I'm doing with consistency, transparency, and actual knowledge. And I did have a lot of people come up and say, hey, you should talk about baseball cards, you should talk about basketball cards, you should talk about football cards. And I just kept telling them, I don't love that, and B, I don't know anything about it, so it doesn't make any sense. They're like, you get so many more views. It's like, it's not about it. It's not about views. It's just not. If it was, I would talk about sports gambling and hobby drama and baseball, basketball, football, hockey, Pokemon. I would do all that stuff, but it's not about chasing clicks and chasing views and getting likes. It's not. It's just not. I chose a very small niche, or niche, however you want to pronounce it. And it's always been my purpose to sort of improve and master my area. I kind of do content similar to the way that I collect, although I'm a little bit more of a loose cannon with my collection, because you guys know I'll have a tendency to go off the Jordan path. But this weekend was all Jordan. I didn't buy a single card of any other player. I did pick up maybe 15 to 20, which you should have seen in a video. I guess by the time you see this one, you will have seen that one. It's just a quick run through of every single card I picked up, raw, graded, slabbed, whatever. I even bought I think my second or third SGC card of all time. Of course, I'm gonna crack it and send it to PSA. No slight to SGC, it's just, that's just how I collect, you know. And I did have confidence buying an SGC slab card because I know they know what they're doing, so you know, that's that, and you'll see a picture of that, a little oddball card. I don't really touch oddball cards very much, but it just appeared in a recent Best of the Best episode on my channel, and when I saw it on the floor, I was like, I couldn't believe it, and so I picked it up. It's funny how the teeny tiny little cards, even a couple of the raw cards that I picked up, you know, on my way out of the show, I ran into a table where there was like, I picked up like maybe 12 to 15 raw Jordans that I just can't wait to send to PSA and get, you know, kicked straight in the nuggets. But it's worth a shot, and I'm gonna run it up the flagpole. It's gonna make for great content, and it's gonna be, you know, Christmas and, you know, October probably by the time they come back. So all in all, start to finish, the show was fantastic. The travel so far, knock on wood, I haven't flown back yet, but everything's been smooth. And, you know, a well-run national. I'm not completely sure. I mean, I know Cleveland's also going to be a great site from what I've heard from everybody else next year, and then after that it looks like it's back to Chicago, and then the question is where from there. I think that's right. And so I think it's Cleveland, Chicago, fill in the blank, where they're voting Atlantic City, Chicago again, or Atlanta, and then back to Chicago again in 2027. So I'm in. Anytime it's in Chicago, I'm in. One of my good friends from Wisconsin got to drive down here a couple hours away and spend yesterday with me, which was absolutely awesome. A real good old family friend of mine who had moved away from Baton Rouge to Milwaukee, believe it or not, which is like a culture shock. But that's it, folks. It was a wrap, and it was awesome. So don't listen to any content out there that's bashing stuff. You're always gonna find people that are gonna bitch about a hotel, bitch about the cost of Uber. Who gives a shit? You're spending tens of thousands of dollars on cards, some of these guys, and they're gonna complain because Uber was gouging people. You know, instead of being $8 to go a mile and a half, it was $20. Who cares in the grand scheme of things? Just focus on the positive stuff. In the, you know, the stank, as they call it, from the floor. It didn't really bother me, man. Maybe it's because I grew up playing basketball, playing AAU basketball, always being around sweaty men. I don't freaking know, but that did not bother me at all. You know, on the showroom floor, you know, it was probably 90 degrees on Thursday evening by the time the show was over. That didn't bother me either. You know, it was just fun, man. It was just, you know, if you see me in a picture and I'm glistening, it's not because I'm that happy. It's just because I'm pouring with sweat. There was a couple, you know, late in the evening, the temperature in the showroom floor would get hotter. It would be something nice to address, but it's like, in the grand scheme of things, who cares? I mean, what are we going to complain about that when we're, you know, amongst all of our friends and, you know, at the event of the year with a lot of other positive things to focus on. So, all in all, I'm giving it a 9.5 out of 10 as far as experiences for me, and I can't speak for everybody, but that's just it. That's it. That's a wrap. So thank you guys for watching. Some great stuff coming out. We're wrapping up tier 3 of the MJ project. I think that video drops on Monday, if I'm not mistaken. And so Josh and I are ready to film tier 4. The last thing Josh said to me when he rolled out of Chicago last night with his family. Also, I got to meet Josh Dawson at Northeast Sports Cards family, and I got to meet Frankie Rodriguez's wife. Fantastic, pleasant people. So it's just good to, you know, put faces with names and then meet, you know, some extended loved ones of the people that I'm friends with and care about in the hobby. So it was all in all, it was just really good. Got to see Chris and Christina and Stiff Arm Wax. I didn't get to see Josh Johnson. Maybe he wasn't here. I did not see him all week, but maybe our paths didn't cross. But got to see my good friend Rodman. I'm not gonna start naming names because there's like 100 people that I got to see, so I'm gonna forget somebody. And it's gonna sound like I'm picking and choosing. But just getting to see all these people, and you know, once a year for me, sometimes twice if I happen to see them in Dallas, is just really a privilege and a thrill to get to see them. So good people in the hobby, and it was fun top to bottom. 9.5 out of 10 for me. So MJ Hierarchy this week, some new content coming out. I was telling somebody, how do you come up with ideas? Aren't you gonna run out? And I'm like, no, you don't understand. My list of topics to talk about is growing at a pace faster than I can produce the videos. And I'm not lying about that. Like, I literally will wake up in bed. Like last night, I woke up, you know, 2 in the morning, an idea was in my head. I went to my phone, I grabbed it, I put it in the notes, you know, get it out of my head, put it in my notes. I'll add it to my spreadsheet when I get to work. and I'm working my way through it. It's an unending list of content. I will never be hurting for ideas to make videos, if that's what people are wondering. So if you haven't subscribed, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button if you like the video. That's my national recap. It is boring, and and you got to watch me drink coffee and look ugly in the morning, and that's how I do things. Pretty straightforward and transparent. I didn't put any makeup on, as you can tell. So keep collecting, stay positive in the hobby. Have a great week in the hobby, and peace.